Oh man, it's unfortunate that they're having such a hard time getting Pennywise on an actual photo. I mean, without photo evidence, you couldn't get anything. You know, if it was 2025, they would have caught him right on camera. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for It. Welcome to Derry. This is my third review. This one's for episode 3. Now you see. So good lord, man. This is a crazy episode. It feels like we've actually been off this for a little while, but it's because they aired the first 2 episodes kind of close together because of Halloween. So we're now back with episode 3, and man, this one was crazy.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
We had flashbacks to a way earlier time, which we'll discuss. We had massive horror moments, chase scenes. The kids are getting closer and closer to actually finding Pennywise. And you had some backstory on Francis Shaw. You had more with Leroy, of course, and lots of just stuff kind of going on throughout. It was a really intense episode, and a lot of stuff was going on. So I want to first off talk about the flashbacks we got in this one, which was in 1908. So that's going back quite a while. And that is 2 cycles before he came back in this timeline, of course, where Pennywise came back in 1962. In the flashbacks, this was 1908, so that's 2 times before the time we are here, because obviously Pennywise comes back every 27 years, so you can add that up, of course, and you know, it's 1908 when he showed up here. And we get a flashback with of course this, you know, Francis Shaw character, the guy that plays Harry from Dexter. Well, you see him as a young kid in this one, and I thought it was a really crazy bunch of flashbacks that you got throughout the episode, because you kind of learn a little bit about his experience, you learn a little bit about what he went through, going through like this funhouse and stuff, being scared, of course, by this, you know, monster, and, you know, he's kind of this scared little boy that everybody's wondering why he's so scared and this and that, and then you see him getting chased in the woods, and you see what happens, you see Pennywise screwing with him, and you can 100% see what he went through. So I like that they included, you know, more of his character than just him being in the, you know, Air Force boss, you know what I mean, stuff like that. He's actually like a big character this episode. So I thought that was really cool to get to see that flashback, get to see him when he was young. And I actually didn't pick up on the fact that it was him right away. But then, you know, they call him by name, and I was just like, oh shoot, like what? We're seeing General Shaw here. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, no, love seeing that. That was great flashbacks, very good information to see. I like that they reverted back to, you know, all that time before, you know what I mean? So then it can show the viewer, you know, what happened when Pennywise was doing this, you know, stuff all the way back then, you know what I mean, when all this was kind of an issue. And yeah, no, I thought that was all really great backstory in general. Now obviously in kind of a side plot, we have the school plot with the kids. We have them, of course, that are, you know, still, you know, obviously kind of traumatized after what's going on. You have this new kid, Rich, who goes with Will and Lily, and of course the rest. They basically decided in this episode to try to actually figure out what's going on, and they basically team up and join an alliance together, and they go to this like old cemetery, and it's really creepy. I really like the way it was shot. You had like the fog and stuff. You had them kind of staying there overnight and stuff like that, trying to, of course, find Maddie for one thing. But you know, it looks like they're getting closer, because, you know, in this one you get to see a massive sequence where, like, you know, you have Rich. He doesn't necessarily come back right away. They're looking for him. They're like, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden, you see the damn eyes through the frickin', like, the black or whatever. And I was just like, oh, shoot, there he is. They're teasing us. He didn't fully pop up, but you did see him. You did see his shadow there. You do see him kind of creeping up on them. And again, I like the way this show's doing it, because they're not giving us, like, everything right away. They're kind of teasing, you know, what Pennywise is doing, the way he's messing with them and stuff like that. And admittedly, I thought Rich was a goner, but no, the kid made it, which is good. I was glad about that. I admittedly thought something was going to happen. I also thought something was going to happen to Lily there briefly, but she ended up surviving as well too. So that stuff was crazy. But then at the end, you find out that they did actually manage to get an image of him as they are, you know, trying to, you know, like they put it in the water to try to get the image to, you know, to come through. That's old school shit right there. That's old school. But then the image kind of loads, and then basically you have, you know, Pennywise standing right there. and they're like, is that a clown? You know what I mean? Like, why is there a clown? You know, and it's like, well, little do you know why the fuck there's a clown, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, really crazy stuff there. So that was a crazy reveal. We do at least know, the kids now know that it's a clown, which I thought was pretty crazy, and yeah, no, that was insane stuff as well. Now, we also have a massive character focus in this one on Dick, which obviously he is one of the guys, obviously works with the air marshals, and we kind of see him in this one. He's kind of like struggling. We kind of see like there's moments where he can almost sense what's about to happen. You can tell that he almost knows what's going on in advance. He almost feels like a time traveler in a weird way. But you can tell he's fully aware of what's going on, and he's, you know, all-knowing. So I thought that was pretty crazy as well to kind of see some flashbacks with him kind of being knowledgeable of what's happening. And I did like, the actor's really good. He's in The Shining as well, too. He's a really good actor. But yeah, no, I thought that was insane. And in terms of kind of what I'm seeing here, it definitely feels like he knows more than everybody else does. That's definitely the vibe I'm getting from him, which makes him very interesting. Like, I even like the conversation with him and Leroy where they were kind of sitting there on his porch and stuff, and he was kind of discussing like, yeah, like, you know, I was one of the masked men in there. I was one of the ones that did that to you. And I was like, shit, really? You know, so that was a big reveal there as well too. And you could tell he kind of keeps his cool. You could tell he was pissed, but he's like, all right, fine. You know what I mean? I guess the worst part of it's over. He knows that Shaw was the one that even got him attacked, you know, in the first episode to begin with. So makes sense. But yeah, no, this was a stellar episode. I had a lot of fun with it. I liked the flashbacks. I liked learning more about, you know, Shaw. General Shaw. I liked seeing a lot more of Dick's character, how he's more knowledgeable than everybody else. He kind of knows what's coming, you know what I mean? I liked all that stuff. I enjoyed the cemetery scenes. The scary stuff was cranked up, I'd say, in this one. Probably a little bit more scary than episode 2 for me. This one was pretty intense. Yeah, no, really great episode. So this show has been fantastic. It's been great. I've had no issues with the way the story has been told so far, at least. I'm going to give this one another perfect 10 out of 10. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the way they do the horror in this show is really, really gripping and very intense, the way it's kind of just presented to us. And in general, I think they've done a really good job executing this story, because again, like, you know, these are young kids, you know what I mean? You never know. You could set up a story and you could get the wrong actors and it just falls apart. I find these kids are doing a really good job at immersing us and putting them in their shoes, making them, you know, terrified and making it feel genuine. And in terms of all the other characters, Leroy and Shaw getting his story now, Dick and the rest of them, I thought it was all really good, and I think they've done a good job telling the story. But yeah, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to actually seeing Pennywise on screen, because I mean, we got an image of him full on, and we did kind of tease him in this one, so it's the matter of time. I feel like another episode or two we should probably be getting to him, which I would advise the writers now to get to him soon, because I wouldn't want them to stretch it out any longer, like episode 5 or 6, I'd say it's kind of my cutoff. If we don't see him by then and there's only a few episodes left, I'd be like, okay, what's the point of that, you know what I mean? So I would say at least by episode 5 we should see him, preferably episode 4, but again, we'll have to see kind of how long they take to do that. So we'll have to see. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe and tune in to any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official _ guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies did a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a straight fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shed a TV light.